Over the past 5 decades, a nonprofit conservation organization, Save Mount Diablo, has led efforts to permanently protect 120,000 acres of ecologically and historically significant land on and around soaring Mount Diablo.
You can look at any one of the pieces and look at its intrinsic values and say, this is so important. And then when you look at all of them cumulatively and the way we've put the puzzle pieces together into a map that goes from Sassoon Bay all the way down past Highway 580, 120,000 acres of contiguous open space, it's just incredible.
Many pieces of Save Mount Diablo's conservation legacy have fallen into place over the years, but one has remained elusive until now.
We call this our little slice of heaven.
Well, it's beyond a slice of heaven up here. We're very lucky people.
Well, Save Mount Diablo continues to build upon its extraordinary legacy of conservation around the mountain and elsewhere in the Diablo Range. But right now, it's also focusing on a critically important portion of Mount Diablo's north side, which is right behind me here. It's land they have been seeking to protect for nearly 50 years. It's called the Missing Mile. Mount Diablo rises high above growing East Bay communities. We'll explore the Missing Mile above Clayton in the shadow of Diablo's North Peak, joined by Save Mount Diablo's Ted Clement and Seth Adams. During the pandemic, we maintain safe physical distances.
Save Mount Diablo is about to celebrate its 50th anniversary on December 7th, 2021, and this land that we're talking about protecting has been on our radar since our founding days. We have an amazing opportunity with this project to protect some of the remaining unprotected lands in the central High Peaks area of Mount Diablo.
It's a square mile block showing on the side of North Peak, rising up the steepest rugged slopes towards the peak, literally halfway up the peak. And these are major priorities that have been on our list since the beginning, and finally they're getting protected.
Protecting 3 properties on Mount Diablo's North Peak relies on partnerships between Save Mount Diablo and organizations and individuals who care deeply for their land's future. A principal partner, represented by Diane Jorgensen and Chris Barnard, is the Concord Mt. Diablo Trail Ride Association, which has owned 200 acres here for 60 years, 154 of which will be permanently conserved once Save Mount Diablo raises the required funds.
Where we are on this mountain, it's very important that we conserve what we have. We have little microcosms up here. You just keep riding and you just go through different moods of the mountain.
I have a very strong spiritual connection with Mount Diablo. There's a lot of spiritual power in this mountain. And to me, because I have traversed a lot of the mountain, maybe 85% of it, there's still more that I want to explore, I feel real connected with it and I feel protective of it because I want my grandkids to be able to enjoy, and their grandkids, all that I've been able to enjoy up here.
The Concord Mt. Diablo Trail Ride Association have been such terrific partners. You know, during this time of the pandemic where we have to stay socially distanced, when I see them, it's hard not to hug them, but I know I can't because of the pandemic. We've developed that type of relationship. They are very special people. They love their land. They're incredibly responsible stewards of this land, and they understand they need to take care of it by helping us permanently protect it. We could not be more grateful for their leadership and partnership.
When we started talking with Save Mount Diablo, we had to make sure that we are able to still have the type of equestrian events that we have up here. This club has such a history of being an equestrian center. It's very important in today's world that we keep that alive. We want to invite kids up here to get to know horses and to have that experience up here.
Our agreement is that we can continue to use it as we've always used it.
And we have then in turn learned more about conservation from them also, and how we can go forth and it can be a happy blend between the two of us. So this is great.
Seth Adams shows me some of the scenic gems on the Trail Ride Association's lovely land, a wild, natural kingdom with big views in all directions. Finally, after 15 years of working to reach a deal, Save Mount Diablo is fundraising to purchase the land's permanent conservation protection.
You can't help but come up here and realize the biodiversity, the value, the beauty of this. This is an incredible piece of property. But we've got a year and a half to raise $1 million to pay for it. We're hoping to do that through our Forever Wild campaign. We need the community to step up. Everything is going to be harder in the time of the coronavirus. Everything's going to be more challenging.
However, Save Mount Diablo has secured the funds and strong partners to permanently conserve 2 other magnificent properties near the Trail Ride Association's land. A private family, California State Parks, and the East Contra Costa County Habitat Conservancy are all involved. And when the dollars for the Concord Save Mount Diablo Trail Ride Association deal have at last been gathered, the missing mile will be missing no longer.
I take these signs of the climate crisis, these signs of the pandemic, as requests from our Earth to be better stewards in better parts of this planet. Land conservation is more important now than arguably it's ever been before. We recognize nature as the ultimate foundation for our long-term well-being and health. The fact that we can all come together and do something that will create lasting benefits amidst literally a global crisis is so uplifting for us, and it's something that's going to inspire us through this pandemic.
Thanks to the devotion of its many community donors, large and small, Save Mount Diablo has financed its grand legacy of conservation for nearly half a century. If past as prologue, even in the midst of a pandemic, their long-held dream of preserving the missing mile will come true. For more information about Save Mount Diablo, go to NBCBayArea.com/open road. When we come back, California's next great story of conservation and conservation success in Sonoma County's regional parks.